My first guitar teacher taught me the modes. I remember leaving one of my lessons one day with this sheet of paper that had chord diagrams on it, and written in blue pen were all these scale patterns. And above each chord diagram, it said these strange words like Ionian and Dorian and Mixolydian. I had no idea what they meant, but I felt like I struck gold. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I went home and started practicing these patterns. So in this video, I want to talk about one of those ones that I learned from this sheet, and that is the Dorian mode. I'm going to show you two different ways to play it, some ways to practice it, and then also some songs that use it so you can hear it in context. All right, let's dive in. The first thing we got to talk about is, what is the Dorian scale? So the Dorian scale is a minor scale, but it's based on the second note of a major scale. So if we were looking at a G major scale, we would start on the second note, and then we're gonna build a minor scale based on the second note. Now it's very similar to the natural minor, which would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. But we're gonna make one simple change. And you may have noticed that those notes there, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, all the natural notes, that's the same as the C major scale. But if we start on A, it's a natural minor. Now to get the Dorian scale from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the note F, which is the sixth note, up to the note F sharp. Okay, so it's gonna become the notes A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. So that's the only difference. And it just has a slightly brighter sound, but it still sounds minor because we have that flat third in there. Now underneath the Dorian scale is a formula, a series of whole steps and half steps. And when you understand this, you can start on any note and create the scale. So let me show you what I mean. If we start just breaking this down here on the note A, you can follow this pattern. It's gonna start on the root note, then we'll go up a whole step, then a half step, then three whole steps. Whole step, whole step, whole step, then half step, then whole step. So it'd be, here it goes over the A minor. Now, as I said, you can start on any note. So let's look at that. What if we started on the note D? Then we would have D to E, E to F, F to G, G to A to B, B to C, and C to D. So whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, D minor. That's a great scale to use over Black Magic Woman. So on guitar, the Dorian scale can be played in a bunch of different patterns, but I want to show you one simple one to get started with, and then we'll expand on this as well. So let's go back to the key of A minor. So the first example is going to start on that root note A, fifth string open. Then we'll go up to the second fret, then the third fret. It's all in the fifth string. Then go to the open fourth string, then second fret, fourth fret, then open third string, second fret. And that ends on the note A, which is an octave above where we started. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. A minor Dorian mode. So that's the first pattern, and if you want to grab a PDF of this and learn how to play the Dorian scale all over the fretboard, which I don't completely cover in this video, then go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide and grab my free fretboard guide PDF. Now you may be wondering, well, what fingers should I use? Well, there's a few ways you could go about it. You could match the fret to the finger. this. Or what I'd probably recommend is a little easier is to put your first finger on the 2nd fret. So any notes you play on the 2nd fret, you play with your first finger. Any notes on the 3rd fret, you play with your 2nd finger. Any notes on the 4th fret, you play with your 3rd finger. And any notes on the 5th fret, you play with your 4th finger. So it just lines up here. This is what we call 2nd position. Playing in position refers to just a simple system where you stay within a specific span of frets, usually 4 frets, and you just line up like that. All right, so that's the easiest way I could think of to play the A Dorian scale. Now, the next way would be expanding on this, and this is a great shape to know that you can move around the fretboard. So this is gonna be 2 octaves, or it could go even higher than 2 octaves. We're gonna start on the 5th fret of the low E, and we're gonna go 5, 7, 8. Then go to the 5th string and play 5, 7. Then the 4th string, 4, 5, 7. Then same on the 3rd string. Then the last 2 strings go 5, 7, 8. So there's your octave. You're 2 octaves above the starting note. And there's your low root note. So you can hear, it goes over this A minor. It's got a nice minor sound. Now all of these notes, you can stop on any note in the scale. Over A minor, like if you just have, think of the sound. There's no dissonant notes. Every note sounds good against A minor. That's pretty cool. So how do you practice this? Well, a great way is to just turn on a metronome, and you can start by just going slow and just keep it at a comfortable tempo and play right on every beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can increase the speed as you get more control. Now you could do all down plucks to start. And then as you get more comfortable, you can start to add alternate picking where you go down, up, right? So that's just gonna go down, up. Now, as you do this, you want to focus on technique. You want to make sure you're getting a clean sound and you're playing close to the frets, right? So that you don't get like kind of buzzy notes like that or little flams. You want to play clean, so don't go too fast. Focus on accuracy. All right, so next I want to talk about some songs that use the Dorian mode so you can hear what this sounds like in context. Now the first one is a classic tune from Van Morrison called Moon Dance, and the progression just goes A minor 7 to B minor 7. It's in the key of A, and here's the melody on top where you can really hear the Dorian mode. There's the scale, right? Remember, I said every note sounds good? Stop on any note. All right, another great example is Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. So here we have a similar thing as Moon Dance, but it goes up higher. So we've got an F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, G sharp minor. So it walks up and then back down. All right, here's the scale. And the third example is Light My Fire by The Doors. Now there's a solo section in the middle of this tune where Ray Manzarek plays a great solo, and then Robbie Krieger, of course, they all stretch out and play extended improvisations. But what's going on with the chord progression is you actually just have A minor 7 to B minor 7, just like Moondance. You've got this bass line, and then bum, 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 bum. So slightly different groove, right? Then Moondance was syncopated. But if you play them on the beat, dun, 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 then you got Light My Fire. So learning the Dorian scale is both exciting and also crucial for guitar players to know, and it's going to give you a new toolbox to be able to create solos from and play anywhere on the neck. And if you've struggled to do this and want to continue this lesson, then go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide and get your hands on my free fretboard guide PDF. This is going to show you how to play the Dorian scale all over the fretboard, and it's completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide and grab that now as my gift to you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you might like this one next.